Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. My name is Logan. I'm with School Finders Scholarships Canada, and I am joined here by Farah Hassan of Constructor University, Germany's top private university, I believe. Farah, you can correct me if I'm wrong there. Tell us more about it. But we're joined here by Farah to talk a little bit about studying in Germany, in the heart of Europe. So stick around for Q&A at the end, of course. We'll also be recording the session. We'll upload to YouTube and send to anyone who misses it. So no worries there. But yeah, drop your questions in the chat. We'll catch up with them at the end. And thanks again for your time. Otherwise, Farah, I'll pass it over to you and welcome.
Good evening, everyone. This is Farah Hassan. I am the regional recruiter for Constructor University. I am located actually in Michigan. Constructor University is located in Bremen, Germany. So I'll go ahead and start the presentation. Okay, so if you guys ask yourself like why you should go with Germany and why should you choose Germany specifically within many European countries, the answer is Germany is home to some of the world's leading companies and offer excellent career opportunities for students. As the strongest economy in Europe, it is an attractive destination for both education and work. And as you can see here, this is the map of Germany. So you know that Germany is known for its strong, actually, economy among the European countries. So in Germany, we do have the top global companies in Germany. Germany hosts globally recognized companies such as BMW, Siemens, Volkswagen, SAP, um, Mercedes, Adidas, and many of the very recognized companies all over the world. So, working for these companies provides students with exceptional learning and growth opportunities. Speaking about career opportunities for students, with numerous internships and job openings, students can easily gain practical experience in Germany. So the total amount of international students in Germany is about 4,500, 5,800 students from 110 countries from all over the world. So, speaking about the career and the salary prospects in Germany, Germany is ranked as country number 6 among the world for the countries that pay the highest salaries. So the average starting salary for university graduates in Germany approximately from 45,000 to 50,000 euros per year, depending on the field of study, of course. For the STEM graduates, STEM, you know, that stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, often earn higher with averages around 50,000 to 60,000 euros a year. So Germany has one of the lowest unemployment rates in Europe, consistently under 5%, offering a secure job markets for graduates. And for students who have questions regarding if they can work. So yes, the Canadian students actually they don't require a visa to enter Germany, and then actually they have to stay. They can actually stay for 3 months in Canada in Germany without any visa. And then there is a team there in Germany in Constructor University. They are responsible to guide the American and Canadian students on how to proceed in having the residency. So in the first 3 months, the students they don't require to have a visa. But after 3 months, they have to have a residency, and there is a whole team there that are specialized in guiding the students into step by step how to get the residency in Germany. And yes, students they can actually work, whether it's on campus or off campus during their study journey. So there's a work-life balance and quality of life. Germany values a healthy work-life balance, offering flexible working hours and generous vacation time. Germany's emphasis on work-life balance allows people to enjoy both fulfilling careers and personal life, supported by cultural activities, outdoor recreation, and efficient public services. So, for those who are not familiar with Bremen as a city, Bremen is 2 hours and a half away from Berlin because I know Berlin is the most common city for the foreigners. So, speaking a little bit about Bremen, it is a city with a maritime atmosphere and 1,200 years of history. About 500,000 people live in Bremen. It is easy to get around the city. And for those who are asking about the transportation, there is actually a train station and it is only 2 minutes away from campus. So Bremen, it's actually Germany's oldest fun fair, and the traditional Christmas market is a popular destination, not just for locals. So speaking about Christmas, since it's around the corner, Bremen is the perfect city to celebrate Christmas there due to its history and the activities there. And actually, one more thing I would like to highlight is that Bremen is also the only German city that has an international airport located within a 10-minute car ride of the city center. So transportation should be accessible and easy for all students. Now moving to Constructor as a university. So Constructor, it is an English-speaking university, and it is number one private university in Europe. Constructor University is committed to excellence and innovation in research, teaching and knowledge transfer with a modern infrastructure and a professional environment to study, live, and work. We do have 4 residential colleges. We have small classes with early research involvement. So we do have a vibrant campus life for the students to dive into diversity. Students from all over the world live and learn on Constructor's campus with a truly international, intercultural, and diverse community. Speaking about like fun activities for the students, so we do have like about 60 student clubs and great variety of student-driven events during the year. So we do have basketball teams, cricket club, CrossFit club, indoor soccer club. We do have refugee support network, BCCB Society, Engineering Club, Debating Society, and Global China Connection, Computer Science Club, and Physics Society. So, Constructor has 3 schools with 186 researchers and lecturers with 60 professors. Speaking of ranking, so Constructor University ranks among the top 25% of universities worldwide. Constructor University ranks among the top 10% of young universities worldwide. And as I mentioned, it's number one private international university in Europe. It is number one private university in Germany, and it is number one most international university in Europe. Speaking about the population of constructor universities, we do, as you can see, we do have students from Asia, from the MENA region, from Eastern Europe, Africa, North America, and South America. We are actually recognized by the CHE ranking as well, and it is a national thing. So, high scores of Constructor University in the following areas: outstanding support at the beginning of studies, excellent rate of students finishing studies within the standard period of time. So, the graduation rate is 90%. So, our actually study programs are pre-degree, bachelor's, master's, and PhD. We do have like the International Foundation Year. It is where the students get ready for university. So it is an academic preparatory program that allows students to explore different subjects, strengthen their personal and academic skills, and develop their English language abilities. One thing I would like to highlight regarding the language. So, as I mentioned, Constructor University is an English-speaking university, and learning German is not a mandatory. So, most of the universities in Germany actually actually they do have learning German language as a mandatory requirement, but it is optional at Constructor. We do have mandatory core modules, so English and academic literacy, basic or advanced mathematics, coding and computational thinking, personal development, and exam preparations. For the pre-bachelor semesters, it's actually tested right. Actually the students they have let's say the right to test the university before they continue um, their study there before they go on and proceed with a 4 years. So, speaking of pre-bachelor semesters, it is a test to drive the university before committing for 3 years. It's a career support, personal development with psychometric testing and coaching. And they can actually learn German because learning German is optional, as I mentioned. They can actually collect like transferable credits and integrate into the community. Speaking about undergraduate programs with the bachelor's degree, so Constructor University's broad spectrum of 19 interdisciplinary study programs from natural sciences, mathematics, and engineering to the social sciences and economics. Students benefit from our interactive 4C model. I'll actually explain about the 4C model later on with individualized course choices tailored to their interests. So, starting with the first college, it's the School of Computer Science and Engineering. It does include computer science, electrical and computer engineering, robotics and intelligent systems, software and data technology. Last thing is the applied computer science, and it is an online program. Moving to then the second college, it is the School of Science. It includes mathematics, modeling and data analytics, physics and data science, chemistry and biotechnology, biochemistry and cell biology, medicinal chemistry and chemical biology, earth sciences, and sustainable management of environmental sciences. The last college is the School of Businesses, Social and Decision Sciences. It includes international relations, politics and history, international business administration, global economics and management, and it is an online program. Industrial engineering and management, it is an online program as well. We do have integrated social and cognitive psychology. Last thing is the management decisions and data analytics. Here it shows the research laboratories. So we do have laboratories, we do have robotics lab, we do have the 3D printing lab, we do have the biology lab, and the geochemistry trace metal analysis lab. Here we do have the quality and innovation in research. So here, this is a research that proves that chocolate is red, pure and true. This is one result for constructors' top research, such creating Ruby, a new type of chocolate developed together with Mr. Barry Culber. So here it shows the university partners around the world. We do have 36 partner universities from different countries around the world, from USA, Argentina, UK, Norway, Sweden, Netherlands, Poland, Spain, France, Italy, Australia, Republic of Korea, China, and Japan. Here is the actually the 4C, the circular structure. So 4C, it includes C, the first C as choice for year number one, which is the students have the choice to decide on their major after the first year. Year number two, the C stands for core. Students study the core elements of their major and may choose a minor, I'm sorry. The C number three for year number three stands for career, so students enhance their career skills and prepare for the job market, graduate school, and society. I will skip this. Here we have a little bit of master's program, and I know that most of the audience are undergraduate, so I'll speak like a little bit about the masters. We do have a data engineering. It is a master, it's a graduate program combining big data aspects of data analytics and data science with the technological aspects of data acquisition, curation, and management. We do have another major for graduate is data science for society and business. We do have supply chain management. And last thing is the advanced software technology. We do have a list of online programs. It's a bachelor's of applied computer science, bachelor's in industrial engineering and management, bachelor's in international business, master's in supply chain management, master's in data science for society and businesses, and master's in data energy engineering and technologies. Here I'll skip. Here it shows that Constructor University cooperates with 186 universities in different research projects. I would like to highlight this subject. It is, as I mentioned, that we do provide the opportunity for students to work during their study, and then we do provide the service of working in Germany after graduations. So alumni can apply for a residence permit for job search for up to 18 months, which is something that doesn't happen with other countries in the world while looking for work. This additional time is provided specifically for the job search process. So once the students have found a job, their residence permit can be amended to include a working permit. If all the other requirements are fulfilled, students will not need to leave the country and apply for a new visa first. Speaking of application requirements, it's pretty much simple. We do require a letter of motivation, the curriculum vitae, which is CV. We do require the high school diploma and transcripts. We do require the letter of recommendations. We can accept like two recommendation letters. And last thing is the English language proficiency test. Actually, it's not required for the Canadian students. I would like to mention that the SAT, it is actually a required subject, but for students, for the Canadian students specifically, I know that there is like many students, they do have, they take like university prep courses during their uh, grade 12. the transcript of grade 12. So for those who accomplish 6 university prep courses will be exempted from the SAT. Here is the timeline of your application. So the first thing is the student submits their application through the website, and then they wait on their admission decision. Then they enroll. Enrolling means that the students have to pay a minimum deposit of 1,000 euros. After actually the student pay this amount, they will receive like the contract. And as I mentioned, you don't guys require visa, so I'll skip number 4. So after paying the 1,000 deposit, you will receive the contract, and then you will have like the invoice to pay the rest of the tuition fees. I will highlight the tuition fees now in a bit. And the last thing is that you start and your semester in September 1st. One more thing I would like to mention is that we don't require application fees. Speaking about the tuition fees, because it is not actually mentioned here in this presentation. So the tuition fees, it is 20,000 euros a year. And then actually we are offering now a scholarship for international students that can be up to 7,000 euros a year. So students, they receive scholarship based on their academic achievements. So it's either 3,000 euros, 5,000 euros, or 7,000 euros. They receive this amount per year according to their actually academic achievements. So if the student, let's say, scores between 90 to 100, they will be able to get the maximum amount of the scholarship, which is 7,000 euros. If they score between 80 to 90, they will be eligible for the 5,000 euros discount. And for students who score less than 80, they will able to get the less amount of the scholarship, which is 3,000 euros. We do have actually financing options as well, like deferrals, and student can pay on installments. And I can actually explain this in details for the prospective students. Um, so Logan, actually, I should be done from my end, and I am ready to accept any questions right now.
Okay, great. And thanks again for presenting. We do have a couple of questions from the chat. One in particular is asking about partner universities in Canada. I guess it's a clarification thing, but are there any Canadian universities that are partners of Constructor?
No, so far, no, we don't have any, but actually we should be working on this where students actually can like do two 2 years of study in Canada, let's say, and then they can proceed with year number 3 at Constructor, and they will end up having like 2 degrees, one from Canada and one from Constructor. But this is like yet to be discussed now. It is something that we should be working on it like in the near future.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. And I guess Constructor is fairly new in terms of universities, right? So there's a lot of building and growth to do.
Yes, that's correct.
Cool. Can you tell us a bit more about the letter of motivation? Any advice, stuff to avoid maybe for
Yeah,
students? What should they think about?
yeah, pretty much simple. Actually, the students, they have to address like their desire, why they want to study in Germany, let's say at first, and then they can specify it more to mention the benefits of studying at Constructor University. They can mention actually why they chose this major, and what actually attracted them um, to submit their application, whether it's for Germany as a country, Constructor as a university, and for the major itself. There's actually no specific requirements. It should be like pretty much simple with the student's own words.
Appreciate that. Specifically, the students' own words thing always resonates with me, especially in our sort of chat GPT era.
Yeah. Yeah, actually,
Uh,
of course, students, they can use ChatGPT, of course.
I'm sure some folks will be happy to hear that.
Yeah, but I know because usually students they stress out when they hear like motivation letter, but no, it is much simpler that you think.
Right, right. It's more about sharing a little bit of your personality and your character, I guess.
Exactly, yes. Like why would you think you match with this major, for
Right,
instance?
right. Um, can you tell us a bit about Canadians in general on campus? Do you have many Canadians so far, and how do
Yeah,
they typically find it? Go ahead.
yes. So actually, I don't have the exact number of Canadian students, but yes, we do have Canadian students. And actually, one of the Canadian students just paid the deposit 3 days ago.
Oh, nice. Okay, so they're coming
Yes.
on board for, would that be a September start then? I guess so.
Yes, yes, with September start, with September 1st. And actually, this student, he was actually willing to be exempted from the SAT, but unfortunately, he only took 5 university prep courses during his grade 12, and he
Mhm.
has to have a minimum of six.
Okay, so
Yeah,
is that a
but one
minimum? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, as I mentioned, the students, if they want to be exempted from the SAT, they have to have a minimum 6 college prep courses during their grade 12. And actually, but there's something interesting about this. So let's say in this case, this student had only 5 college prep courses, and unfortunately, he cannot be exempted from the SAT. We do actually offer the options of students to do the SAT on campus, one in October and one in December. So he can work on it before December 2025. So he has like one whole year to work on it.
Wow, okay, so that's got to be plenty of time. Any advice for people who might be sitting the SAT? What's he walking into?
Actually, we're looking for a minimum score of 1,200 and to be like a little bit flexible and as a kind of leniency with the students, we do sometimes accept students with lower scores, like 1,000, like minimum. We can't do less than 1,000, but we do have some exceptions.
Interesting. Yeah, we don't have the SAT here in Canada, so I've never really seen one, right? Never had to take one, so I was always a little bit
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah.
Okay, how about I guess you mentioned the SAT. Are there any other entrance exams or requirements outside of, CV,
Mm,
letter of reference,
no.
motivation, and so on?
No, it's only the high school diploma, which is the high school transcripts, the motivation letter, 2 recommendation letters, and the recommendation letters, they can be actually from your teacher at the school, they can be from your coach. If you do have like, if you do any kind of sports, it can be from anyone actually. And no English requirement.
Okay, right on. And pretty sure you have said this. I think I read this somewhere too, but it's is all the education in English or some of it's in
Yes.
German, or how does that work?
No, it is an English speaking university. This is actually our number one selling point. But
Okay.
actually, so I met some students, and actually when I attended your fair in October, actually I found some students that they are actually willing to learn German. I was surprised because actually the German language it is hard to be to be learned, but I found some students who are actually interested, and actually it is optional. They can choose to learn German, but it is not mandatory at all. It is an English speaking universities. All subjects are taught in English.
And presumably that also means student services and so career services, all that stuff.
Yes, yes, 100%.
Cool. Is there a sort of German language program that students can enroll in if they are, gung ho?
Yeah, the German language. They
Yeah,
can
so
actually learn the German language. So all
yeah, and
courses are taught in English, but they can choose it as an elective course if they are really interested in learning German.
Cool. Yeah, I always like to see that. We had one sort of Japanese school at one point, and it was a similar thing. All the programs are in English, but if you want to learn Japanese, like we're here for you, right? We'd love to
Yes,
teach you.
yes, yes, 100%.
Okay, cool. You did talk a little bit about here in Canada, we call it the post-graduation work permit, which essentially lets you stay in the country and work after graduation for, I think you said 18 months. Can you tell us a
Yes.
little bit more about that?
Yeah, so actually, most of the countries around the world, after the students actually finish their bachelor's degree, they actually are asked to leave the country like immediately in some countries. But in Germany, actually, the students can have they can have like a period of time of 18 months to actually look and search for a job after graduation, and then if they uh, have this job guaranteed, they can actually apply then for the residency. So they don't have to have I'm sorry, they don't have to apply for another visa for the work visa. Do you get what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm. Yeah,
Yes, and
so
actually, yeah, they can, the Canadians, they can enter actually Germany with no visa required, but they have to have like a residency visa after 3 months, and there is a support team there. They prepare the student and guide them on how to do the residency visa thing.
right on. Okay, so
Yeah.
you graduate, you've got a year and a half to find a job, and if you do, then you can parlay that into further stay, essentially.
Yes, yes.
Cool. You kind of touched on it. Resources and supports for Canadians in Germany. Yeah, what can you tell us about when people are starting to feel homesick and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I know this is actually a normal feeling, especially for students. But the most thing I can mention is that there is an international airport in Bremen, so they don't have to fly for another city in order to book a ticket for Canada. But actually, yeah, for students who choose to live on campus, they will actually, I don't feel they definitely they will feel homesick at one time, but when they actually live and see that they're all considered as international students, they're all leaving actually their families and choosing Germany as a country where they want to build their future. So I feel like this is a kind of support. So students do support each other because they're all in the same boat. This is how we say it.
Yeah, I totally get that. And it does kind of make me wonder what sort of cultural similarities and differences have you observed between Canadian culture, German culture?
Actually, I till now I haven't had the chance to visit Germany, so to be introduced to the culture in person, in order to tell you about my experience, like so far, I don't have a physical experience in Germany, but I am planning to go in February or March. So I will definitely tell you about this experience. The language, it's actually it's considered like a barrier usually for students, but since it is an English speaking university, so they won't find it difficult. They will like, they don't have to learn another language. Of course, they will be put into situations where they have to like learn a little bit of German, some of the name of the objects, and actually when they want to use like transportation or to go around the local cities or the local shops around the city, they will actually be put in a situation to learn a little bit of German. But speaking of university, they don't have like, it's not going to be like a barrier for them.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, here in Canada, we sort of think of everybody in Germany knows English. And I don't know why we think that, but it seems that way. Is that
Yes. Yes.
more or less true?
Yes.
Nice. Oh, it makes it easy then.
Yeah. And actually,
Okay.
if they like feel bored in Bremen, they can go to Spain, to Italy. It's, like by the train, they can travel the whole Europe.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds great. It would take all of a day just to get across the country here.
Yes, on weekends especially.
Sure. Okay, so one topic we always get questions about is financial aid and stuff. You talked about potential scholarship of like 7,000 euro or so. Can you tell us a little bit about how students can essentially how they apply? Do they need to apply? And sort of what are the typical parameters that would actually lead to successfully getting a scholarship?
Yeah, so actually, there's no separate application for the scholarship. It is electronically given for students upon the submission of their application. So after the admission teams do the evaluation of the students' high school transcripts, they will be deciding on the given amount of the scholarship, whether it's 3,000, 5,000, or the maximum amount, which is 7,000 euros per year. So the bachelor's degree, it is actually 3 years, not four, but it's going to be four for students who start with the International Foundation year. And actually, this amount will be exempted from the 20,000 euros per month. We do offer the financing deferrals as well. So, for instance, I am eligible for the 3,000 euros as a discount, and the tuition fees is 20,000 euros. So I will be paying like 17,000 euros a year. And then I can actually choose if I would like to defer another 3,000 euros to be paid after graduation. So
Oh,
since I am eligible for the 3,000, I can choose if I would like to defer another 3,000 to be paid after graduation. So
cool. Okay.
yeah, this is gonna be like a discount of 6,000 euros if I am eligible for the 3,000 euros. So I will end up paying 14,000 euros.
Yeah, okay. Is that strictly tuition? Is that housing as well? Do you have a sense of what like a
Yeah,
year
no,
on
this is
residence might
actually
cost?
this is for the tuition fees, for the housing. Thank you for this question. Actually, I forgot to highlight the housing thing. So it varies between 8,000 to 9,000 euros a year, the housing.
Sure. Okay, that sounds about right. I'm just doing a quick calculation here to see how that compares to Canada,
How
and
much is
it's
it in Canadian dollars? Yeah, I think you have to do the equation.
yeah, it's a quick
I'm not so good
calculation
when it
here.
comes to currencies.
Oh, I just use a little tool in my
Yeah,
browser, but
yes. Yeah,
yeah,
we
it's
all do
cheaper
the
than
same.
Canada, to be sure. Much
Yes,
cheaper.
I know
Okay.
because Canada is actually more expensive than the US.
Yeah, it is, and it doesn't feel that way sometimes. And then you start looking around, and oh, you know what? Yeah, it really is. We've
Yes.
got a question from Chris about rankings. It looks like Constructors ranked very highly on Times Higher Ed, one of the big global ranking universities. Can you tell us anything about sort of credentials, reputation, that kind of stuff? Where does Constructor stand?
Actually, this was highlighted in one of the very first slides. Let me go one more time. Okay, so let's check the slide that shows the ranking thing here.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so Constructor University ranks among the top 25% of universities worldwide. Constructor University ranks among the top 10% of young universities worldwide, and it is number one private international university in Europe, number one private university in Germany, and number one most international university in Europe. This is according to the World University Rankings. And there is a national ranking thing. It is the CHE. So according to CHE ranking, high scores of Constructor University in the following areas: outstanding support at the beginning of studies, and then excellent rates of students finishing the studies within the standard period of time, and the graduation rate is 90%.
Nice. You mentioned private university. Can you tell us a little bit about how that differs from the alternative?
How it differs from what?
The alternative, which I guess is a public
Public?
university?
Yeah, actually, the public universities in Germany, it is actually mandatory there to learn German. This is the main like difference.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's a big one if you don't speak German.
Yes, it is mandatory to learn German.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. So yeah, for our Canadian audience, probably private is going to be the way to go for most
Of
people.
course, yes.
Okay. That's more or less all the questions that I have, I think. Excuse me. Is there anything else on your mind you think students should know? Any sort of parting words of wisdom you want to leave us with?
No, actually, I feel like I highlighted the most important things, speaking about the tuition fees, the scholarships we are offering currently for international students, the majors, the flexibility, the, the actually the great economy in Germany among Europe. So I feel like I highlighted the most important thing in additional to the very simple required documents. Of course, I would like actually to reach out to each and every student who did register for this webinar so I can check out if they do have any other questions. Yeah, and actually I will send you the presentation I previewed so you can actually share if this is possible. Of course, if you can share it with the students who's opted in to this webinar.
Yeah, definitely can do. We'll share the recording and the deck. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's it from my end. Uh, Thank you for giving me the opportunity to present about Constructor and myself. And yeah, looking forward to have some prospective students in the near future.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks so much, Farah. I really do appreciate your time talking about Constructor and studies in Germany. Thanks, everybody who tuned in and who signed up, and we will send the recording out tomorrow. But otherwise, have a great evening and thanks again.
You too. Thank you. Bye.